seconds left.
Have the
Nice.
glass. What
Oh, what a
keep
crit.
those out? Able to find one at the axe run with a nice 3 down. Glass. 4-2. Oh, another slam. Central. Beep. Yes!
I mean, it had to go for him. And push him simply. Oh,
That pistol didn't work out.
Opposition up on the door. Oh, but stop. Coming in from behind. You see the crawl? Oh! Trying to fight his demons here on the shield. Just a little bit of whipping going on. 1 HP. Ooh, but now... And the ward is... Oh! Got the breach.
I'm not getting the second pick. On the bottom.
2v2.
10 seconds left.
Have the
Nice.
glass. What
Oh, what a
keep those out? Able to find one at the axe run with the mirror. That's 3 down.
It's the refrag.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? My name is Piercing R6, and we are back with MSU Green versus Scarlet Hounds. I hope everyone's having a good day, and I'm here with Lucas as well. How you doing, Lucas?
I'm doing all right. I just can't wait to see what looks like it's going to be a good game ahead of us.
Mm-hmm. All right, and let's look at the current standings at the moment. So far, we have Michigan State and Scarlet Hounds both 1-1. This is their chance to bring it positive for the first time, but it's who's to say? I mean, both teams could be very close. Not too sure. And with that, let's look at the standings that we have as well. So far in Division 2, we have looks like MU Red, UIUC, and UIC pretty much on top with a +9, and a +10 differential respectively, with Scar close behind with a +8, and Marquette, MSU, UMich, and SIUE at -1, -2, -10, and -23 respectively. Now for the roster for, I believe that is MSU Green, we have Matto.MSU, Reverse, Lean 4, D4C, and Fry off French. I am very bad at pronouncing names, so I do apologize for that. And for the MVP from this team, we actually have Matto as our MVP with a 13-18 +5 difference and a 1.94 KD with an SPR of 72.31. Going to be a heavy hitter to look forward to for tonight's matches. And then we have for Team 2 roster Scarlet Hounds, Giafero, and Neeson Walker, Asian Boy 100, Mary Poppin' Off, and Nova. And then for their MVP, we have Asian Boy 100 with a +22, 1.53 KD, and a 107.32 SPR. A real game maker there. Another player once again to watch out for. All right, and then for the map bands, we are going to have, looks like we have our decider on Oregon, and we will be playing on Villa and Chalet for our first maps, with Scarlet Hound starting on Villa and MSU Green over in Chalet. And then for the votes on who our winners are going to be, it's looking a little bit of a split, not too much on the staff. However, the polls in the community are very polarized over in Twitter and Discord, with MSU Green taking 80% on Twitter and 100% on Discord. But on the Midwest R6 community, it's a bit split with a 45-55. So, or at least that's the total. So, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how whether we're going to see a major upset or just a flat out win, as everyone's predicting. My money's still on MSU Green. I'm going to go with the crowd. Lucas, what do you think?
See, I personally think MSU Green's going to pull it out too. But as we saw in those standings, it looks like Scarlet's actually doing better in the standings, at least with their map differential against MSU. So I with how closely they were with their map standings, I honestly think this game could very much go down to the wire.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, that's really what differentiates a close win to a complete blowout. Because, I mean, if you have a barely any round differentials and you just squeeze out that game and it's because of your top player, that doesn't paint exactly the best picture. But if you have a massive round differential along with a heavy hitter, I mean, that tells me it's not just your one teammate that's doing a lot of the carrying. Because that is something I tend to see is you'll have one player that is just a behemoth and then everyone else is kind of just trailing behind that player, banking on him to really get those essential picks. So we'll have to see for tonight's match whether that is the case, and it's going to be dependent on our heavy hitters, or if it really just comes down to, like you said, those round differentials and who is having those better rounds and higher momentum.
I completely agree.
Yep. But for tonight, we will actually get to see that. And yeah. So, with that being said, once again, those are. Looks like we're not quite ready for the matches just yet. It'll be just a moment until we get that going. But tell me, Lucas, what do you think about the maps that we're going to be playing tonight?
Now, personally, I'm honestly a fan of them. My old team, our first pick was always Villa. Chalet was always a map we were very strong on. We were very dominant on attack there, so it was always our second pick.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and then Oregon is a map I've gotten into. I do. I think there's a lot of different ways it could go. It really just depends how much control they can put on each site. Because realistically, a lot of those sites that they play, there's just so many ways to enter. Whether
Right.
Basement, there's always above play, top floor, there's always below play, as well as just all the different angles. So it's really going to be interesting to see if we get to that decider map, how they intend to cover all those angles.
I mean, adapting utility is the name of the game for that map, or really, yeah, for all the sites on that map. We even see that in Pro League. Oftentimes, you'll have one person checking for where they're playing, and the second they get an idea of where attackers are coming from, everyone, or at least the anchors, start shifting their utility. It's a very important play, especially when you commit a lot of resources into a specific push, like elbow for bunker, or you put a lot of utility into denying attic or kids or whatever. If they don't go that way, you want to move that somewhere else because you want to cause a maximum amount of difficulty into entering in close proximity, if not into site itself.
Something that I learned pretty early on is that players on defense, they don't necessarily need to go for kills, they need to go for time, because if you can hold those people off enough, like if you get kill thirsty, it's a 1v2 and you get kill thirsty, you very much could lose. But if there's 20 seconds on the clock and it's a 1v2 and you're able to hide, you win the round. And so that's something that I feel like is going to be very much at play here, as these are two very high level teams.
That's definitely something you want to watch out for, but nevertheless, still a very common map. So I expect to see much of the same. However, Chalet, I remember when Chalet got reworked, and everyone was saying it was so awful. And honestly, they couldn't be any more wrong. It's definitely been one of my favorite maps. I've been an advocate for it from the very beginning, back when everyone's like, that map is awful, because everyone's kind of stubborn, doesn't want to learn the new map. So I've always been a champion for that. And many of the other maps, like Skyscraper, Theme Park, I like seeing those maps a bit more often. So even though it's a bit standard, and you got two good teams that are 1-1 right now, they can make anything really work, or at least come out as moderately to very interesting. It's just it all comes down to what are your strats, how's your coordination, and what's your game plan.
Yeah, I completely agree. I also was a pretty big fan of the Chalet rework. I really liked how that went. In all honesty, though. A lot of people didn't like, hearing me out on that. And it's not necessarily because the chalet rework they didn't like. It's because I was never a fan of Coastline, which a lot of people liked. I was never a fan of Clubhouse, which is
Coastline's awful. Change my
yeah.
mind.
I'm not going to try and change your mind on that. No.
Thank you.
Clubhouse, I hate Clubhouse, but it's the only map that's actually been in the competitive pool ever since the game came out. Clubhouse is my least favorite map. I will die on that hill. I would rather play Tower. Emerald Plains is a great map. It's my second favorite map in the game. Now, you're seeing where I'm going with this. This is why people don't listen to my map opinions.
Yeah, you definitely got some interesting taste there, but I don't necessarily disagree with you. I very much enjoy playing Emerald Plains, and it's disappointing how little I get to play it in ranked. It's actually kind of irritating, but I have enjoyed playing the new Nighthaven Labs map. I don't think it's honestly that bad, if you ask me. And who knows, maybe that map could possibly have a future competitive. I'm not saying it's competitive ready, but maybe it will. It's hard to say.
I would honestly like to see it. I think it's a very well made map, and once I was able to learn it, it's definitely raised the ranks in some of my favorite maps. So if it makes its way into competitive sometime soon, I would be happy to see it.
That would be very exciting to commentate over that. Plus, it'd give me a new map to actually learn and get the callouts for. Because if I were to cast that map right now, I wouldn't have a clue what's going on. I'd be stumbling. They're in this room, the room with the chandelier, and yeah, it wouldn't. Actually, does that map have a chandelier? I don't think so.
Not that I've seen.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure there's a light fixture that looks kind of like it, but once again, like I'm very mediocre with that map. I know like where the
yeah,
bomb sites and a few rooms
I don't
around
even know
them,
that. But I mean, that's a point exactly. It gives me as a caster a new opportunity to learn something, because that's another thing about casting, right? Is you have to learn the game as it progresses, and all the different strats are coming up, and what the plays the teams are going to adopt. That's what it's all about, is understanding your realm and being able to, you know, dissect what's happening, because you are that person relaying the moment to moment, or just the overall sphere and the situations to everyone else. So yeah, it would be a good opportunity to, really wise up and relearn, because that's pretty much all I do at this point is cast.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think that both, if we were to get a map, something like that gets put into ranked, it'd be a very good opportunity for both players and us casters to learn about it, kind of figure out where everything is. And honestly, with my ranked playing, that would definitely help me out too. So
Yeah, for sure. But honestly, I know that a lot of people are biased towards Michigan State, but like I said, I've got my vote and I'm still keeping it. Plus, I'm really hoping I could get my numbers up, because right now my prediction rate is 50%. I'm not doing good right now, and there are some freebies I kind of threw away. So
there was,
yeah.
yeah, what was it, the first week, the playoff week, or whatever we call it.
Yeah, the first playoff matches.
Yeah, where you were like, hey, yeah, I think Trine's gonna win. And I'm like, no, I think Illinois is gonna win. And then it was absolute blowout.
That was embarrassing for me. I seriously thought that it was not gonna be a blowout. At the very least, I thought it was gonna be close, and that just didn't end up being the case. So you got me there. I was unbelievably wrong, and maybe I'll be wrong yet again. But I do have Twitter and Discord community backing me up here, so maybe it's not as baseless as before. But then again, I think a lot of people voted for Trine, so maybe not. Yeah, like I was saying here, a lot of even our own staff are voting in favor of MSU Green, although maybe a bit of a split actually, as a lot of people actually voted for Scarlet Hounds, almost a 50-50, honestly. But yeah, I do not have a good win-loss when it comes to guessing. Like I said, 50%. You hate to see it. It happens.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, at the beginning of the season, it's always going to be all up in the air because you can't base anything off of, ratings, how they've played against other teams,
Oh
because
yeah.
there have been. So,
Mhm.
I'm pretty confident your rating will go up.
I
Maybe
sure hope
not,
so.
maybe not tonight. We'll see, but I definitely in the future, I feel like by the end of the season, it's going to be at least 70-75%, if not much higher.
Ideally. But yeah. And I mean and another thing that kind of messes me up, which makes it not probably go up, is I haven't really been watching much of the VODs. I haven't had time to because I've actually recently started a new job at Worldwide Tech. I'm a product associate. I do like the rack and stacking, so setting up servers, which is pretty cool.
Oh, congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks. And then I also got drill going on, drill weekend, which is gonna be fun. Those good old military obligations.
Hmm.
Ooh, so
See,
cool.
I don't have time to watch the VODs, not because of, job or military. It's because I'm a music education major. I'm taking 12 classes this semester. I also work out 4 times a week in the morning because I'm part of the football team. I'm surprised I had time to cast this tonight.
I am so sorry for you.
It's fine. It happens. I'm hopefully going to graduate in 3.5 years. So I got this semester, 2 more semesters student teaching, then I'm out of here. And I don't have to worry about that anymore. I want to get out of here as soon as possible. So
Well, I wish you the very best of luck in that, because I can tell you what, last semester I said, nope, I'm done. That was it for me, so I'm living my best life. Kudos to you, because I couldn't do it. It was too much for me. But yeah, unfortunately, we are still waiting on a few more players to get in, but hopefully we will get that first match in on Villa soon enough. I also want to mention, because I didn't say this before, for this first game, Missouri State University Green will be starting on defense, and Scarlet Hounds will be on attack.
I think that's very good to note. Especially with Villa being the first map, I feel Villa's a very defender-sided map, at least in my experience. So it'll be very interesting to see how that shapes the game.
Well, yeah, because it's so unbelievably difficult to just attack directly unless you have an overextension. So naturally, that is going to be the situation where you have to do a horizontal, you got to clear out everything on such a unbelievably massive map. If I'm not mistaken, I think Villa is actually one of, if not the biggest maps in the current competitive rotation. Only second that to Theme Park, I think. It's a very big map.
In all honesty, I haven't checked out, the specific size of all the maps, but I would say I definitely think Villa's a big map. I mean, like Crypt, Basement and Villa, it's not even used as a bomb site, but it's still a good place to go up attack. It's definitely a massive map. It'll be interesting to see how defenders decide to play all the angles and where the attackers decide to come from.
Yep.
Uh,
And actually, on that note, I think Villa is actually one of the only maps in the competitive pool that that has a floor that does not have a sight on it. I don't think any other map has that feature to it. Now that I think about it, someone fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's the only one.
Definitely
However,
not in the competitive rotation.
yeah. I think on other non-competitive maps, there might be another map like that, but yeah, as far as this pool, I think it's the only one. All right, looks like we're almost ready, so it'll be just a minute, and then we'll get that going. You ready for the game, Lucas?
I am more than ready. I can't wait to see this game. I think we'll have I definitely think we have a thriller tonight.
Oh yeah, seeing our top players possibly pop off once again will be interesting because, like I said, it's that issue of, is it just your top players that are carrying everything and you're playing off of that, or is everyone do you have like an actual balanced composition with the chemistry? It just really depends on each of the schools, and we've kind of had this conversation before. Size does play a role, because if you are a smaller school, you don't really have that much of a pool to pick from. So hopefully you got a more balanced roster with everyone kind of in a similar skill area, so everyone can play off each other. It just all depends ultimately.
And then with the number size, I'm a very big advocate of that. The college I currently attend has a student body of about 1,300. We had literally this last semester, we had 5 guys that wanted to play C, and that was our team.
Decent.
Not because, and we didn't have to run trials, we didn't have anything because we just had so few people that actually wanted to play.
Yeah.
This semester, one of our guys still hasn't figured out his major. He's a sophomore, so he took time off the team to figure that out. We had 4 and we couldn't make a team this semester. So I feel like numbers are definitely a very big factor. Obviously, that's not always it's not always going to be the bigger school that wins, but numbers I feel like definitely play at least part of the factor in what how good a
Your
team is
options.
going to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
your options. Because honestly, having more players doesn't necessarily make the better player, but it does give you a higher chance of, if we're thinking of like an RPG or whatever, stat rolling a good player, and being able to take them. It's like having 5 summons versus like 50 summons. You got a higher chance of pulling a 5-star, but maybe you pull a 5-star on that first pull. Who knows? But gosh, I used to play Fire Emblem Heroes so much. All right, and with that, looks like we're going to be ready for that first game. Now moving on to Villa. Here we go.
All right, band phase. What are we thinking?
So collegiate tends to be a little bit more standard, from my experience. So I am going to anticipate Flores, Solus, Azami, and okay, well,
Ooh,
there was the one I was about to say. I was actually about to call a knock, but that got banned first. I was a little too slow to the draw. But next one will be Flores or maybe Thatcher. But with how much utility, destruction, and the ability to go below to contest that wall breach, I doubt it's a Thatcher.
And you
Look
would
at
be
that. It's a
correct in that, yeah.
Flores.
Flores very good for denying a lot of utility. He's definitely one of my favorite characters to play, so he's definitely a very good band in this capacity.
Yeah, strangely enough, when I first got Flores when he came out, I didn't see a lot of people playing him. I didn't understand what the big deal was. I guess people just didn't think he was that strong, and now look at him. He's one of the top banned players as far as I'm concerned.
Then we got the Azami ban. I think that's a very good ban as well. Azami's Kivas can definitely make a lot of nasty angles, as well as block off a lot of stuff that they would need to push. So I think that's a very good ban in this capacity as well.
Yep, and now we get the Soulless ban. Okay, never mind, Mirror.
So honestly, I've seen Solus banned a lot. I was completely with you. I definitely thought it'd be a Solus ban as well. So
But like I said before, I've heard some CL players I've talked to say that Solus isn't actually that good because Solus is more circumstantial information, while Pulse is like direct. You can't fool the exact words that one of the players I was talking to used is you can't fool a Pulse with a heartbeat, but you can fool a Solus with a drone or a fake plant or just simply dropping the diffuser.
yeah, I think that's definitely a very important to know. But I do think Solus is also a very very good intel op. So
Denial too.
I completely understand why she was banned. It'll be interesting to see if that mirror ban affects the game more than say like a Solus ban would have. But I guess we'll find out.
See, and the thing is with Mira, because she's banned so often, more often than not, it's better to let the Mira be on the board rather than not, so you can abuse the fact that if they do play Mira, they're not going to be as experienced because they don't get a lot of opportunity to play them. And on top of that, they just may not play at all. That can also be a possibility as well. All right, and now we're going to be starting with Scar going for that horizontal over in master bedroom side. Looks like we have a bit of a more interesting composition as Mary Poppinoff is playing Gridlock, which honestly I wish I'd see more often. But the thing that's nice about her is that she's very good for making noise, so that way you can just push up with little to no, or you can sneak up and the other team, the Roamers, may not even hear you. And we're going to see Fryoff French already statuary looking to take a first pick onto Closet. The Mozzie drone already catching one of Scarlet Hound's drones. And it's just a matter of time before we see that first engagement with Fryoff French playing the window very, very aggressively. No one fully peeking or spraying, as if they sprayed that soft wall, they could pop him right there. But hasn't been done yet, and Mozzie's still doing his job with 1 minute 55 seconds left. And no one's died yet. So it's a matter of time until the hopping comes in with Andy Sandwaller hopping in. And no one dead yet, but Asian Boy will take Motto, who gets aggressive over to the massive door, and a swing. Fry out French catching Asian Boy for the refrag. Now to 4v4, but Scarlet Hound is in, and Andy Sandwaller will take the 4C as well, bringing it to a 3v4.
Seems like a lot of Scarlet over there is kind of lining up, kind of pushing all together, and I think it'll be interesting to see if with that amount of people, if they'll be able to pull it off or not.
Yep, for sure. And now Scarlet Hound having that connector in second floor control, but at a bit of a cost as their Thatcher and Ash are now off the board. But Mary popping off as Gridlock does have EMP charges, so they want to get the wall open. They still have the ability to do so. And keep in mind, MSU does not really have any wall denial, so it doesn't matter. But Giraffe Pharaoh anyway will still take Whiffity out, bringing it to a 2v3 as Giafaro looks to get more control from Deers up and get a plant, but Giafaro will not spot the Valkyrie, which has perfect eyes on him. However, there are no nitros left to contest that, so it doesn't really matter. With 30 seconds left, they're going to have to get through a major funnel, of which MSU has multiple lines of sights to work with, and a Mozzie drone to give even more intel. They know where everybody is at this point, as Scarlet Hounds are fully funneled on the door, but Lean will take Andy Sandwaller as they struggle to get through that funnel. The grid comes in, but is not going to catch Mozzie, thrown a little too far out. Bit of noise for the walk-in, and now with 8 seconds left, Mary popping off, taking a little bit of damage onto Lean. Giafaro getting the plant down, and Fryle French is going to get taken out. Jaeger going to try to take one, but Mary popping off will be able to take 2 headshots, finishing out for the first round.
In that 2v1 with the attackers, it was absolutely crucial that they had one watch while the other planted, because I think that's definitely what won them the round after they took out the Mozzie.
Yeah, I mean, they made really good progress of breaking through that funnel. That's exactly what you want to do when you're in that situation. You don't ever want to, you know, when you're in a funnel, just kind of go in one-on-one and just die to that. And the crazy thing is, you know, Scarlet Hounds, they didn't lose a single person on that actual execute. They were able to push all the way through, if I'm not mistaken. I do think that we lost one outside, but when Scarlet Hounds actually got through that door into AV, they didn't lose another person. That was it. Both fell to the grid. Mary popping off, who is indeed popping off with that 2K to win the round.
10 seconds remaining. You can stop worrying about grenades now.
All right, and now with MSU back up over to AV Games, we are now going to be starting off with a similar horizontal take with Scarlet Hounds going once again for Master Statuary. Maybe they can get better control this time now, knowing that it's the same site without losing as many people. I don't know if I personally would have gone the exact same site again, given what we have seen, but it really just all depends, honestly.
To me, it seems like it's a good site they can hold, and they almost did pull that round out. As we saw, it was wasn't it a 3v2 towards them, near kind of pretty close to the end.
Yeah, exactly. And they were in a good situation, but the numbers started to even out. It's all about how you coordinate and deal with those funnels. That is really what makes or breaks those funnel execute, and it's that fine-tuning of coordination that really makes or breaks in a team when it comes to attack. And Leon already doing some good damage onto Sandwalker, but we do not have a pick. Some quick peeking coming in, a bit of pre-firing, but Sandwalker will not allow it to connect. Still playing aggressive. D4C taking some damage, but we have Motto over on Astro Stairs taking one, and we get 2 picks from Mozzie and Jaeger, and another one from Defaruz, and another pick from Motto coming back up to finish out the round. An extremely aggressive move from Scarlet Hounds as they win that one out in quick fashion.
That was mind-blowing, honestly, how first 30-45 seconds there wasn't a lot. I figured it was just gonna be like the first round, and then boom, boom, boom. They just something happened. They got their they got their engines going and just completely took out the team in the next 15 seconds. It's it's very interesting how that played out, but I can't say they didn't deserve it.
I mean, MSU, they lost that first round, and they said, we're not going to have this. We're not going to make this a close game, seemingly, and just tried to steamroll a first round. They knew that Scarlet Hounds like to send everyone into a full horizontal and took full advantage of that with the way that they positioned. I believe, actually, everybody from MSU was over denying the horizontal take. And it just didn't work out as Scarlet Hounds trying to commit. Every time they took a pick, they tried to send it with someone in, get refrag, and it was just a different person at just the right time, at just the right position. And that costed them. But we will see Scarlet Hounds now going a different direction over into Ruin's side. However, that is because MSU is over by Statuarian Games.
It'll be interesting to see here if they try to do a full roam clear or if they just decide to push directly into site, because I feel like both of those could have very different consequences for the team.
Yeah, it really depends on how you play out those moment-by-moment situations, and we will see this extension into game, or the AV with the wall reinforcement. Giafaro looking to try to push up to get study, as we do have one from MSU lurking over in games, but no one really caught at the moment. And one in books too, and that's going to be Motto holding AV to deny that funnel. And the Capcan's going to catch one, and Fi will take the other. But we will see a refrag from Jalen, bringing it to a 4v4. But that's going to be D4C taken out as Fry French falls down to main stairs, and Motto over to red. Scarlet Hounds now effectively has that AV game study all the way up to 90 control if the drones can confirm it, but there really isn't any drones to confirm at the moment, except for Annie Sandwalker, who will be getting that booked clear, allowing them to effectively push up, but they still haven't yet. However, there will be one still top red. Not going to be taking this for free, so they're going to need to take this. They're going to have to move up pretty soon. However, Mato's still holding below, I believe so, for the Nitro, which could cause a whole lot of problems for them. Whiffity over in Statuary as well, so it's not going to be a free push up with Mato holding red and Jafaro seemingly about to walk straight into it, not even watching, checking the red. That's going to be another pick, a double onto 90, but Jalen taking the refrag and getting another one to Whiffity, but the Capcan will take him down. The Capcan's doing devastating damage over to the Scarlet Hounds, and now it is effectively a 1v2 as we have Jalen on the DBNO, but with MSU not capitalizing on that down, Jalen will be back on the board, and now we'll add a nade out to the utility the Scarlet Hounds has, which could be a good opportunity to take another. However, Leon is up with ADSs around, so the chance of that catching isn't looking too good. 30 seconds left. They're going to have to figure something out. They got a funnel to push through and breaches to pop, potentially. However, we will see Fry take Jalen, and now it is up to Annie to win this out, get a refrag, and possibly win. Takes Trophy out, and now has to take this fight over into Master or get the plant down. Is going for it, and Fry is going to have to push the breach. Gets off the fuse, and now Fry is going to back up, and the shot's going to confirm he's off the fuser. And now Annie is effectively out of time, looking to force the breach, and is not going to be able to quite see her. And that will be another round for MSU, a close round, and comfortably so for MSU, but still taking it nevertheless.
I think that Capcan play right there, that was pretty pivotal. I see Capcan banned a lot in lower ranked games just because, you know, he's annoying. He can put a lot of traps on doors. He can get people in that down but not out state. So but in these higher ranks, he's not very expected. A lot of people don't look for him because realistically, he's not played very often. So I think that was a very interesting play that they decided to, but it definitely worked out in their favor.
Yeah, maybe in competitive not so often, but I do see him a good amount in ranked. But also the problem that I see that Scarlet Hounds may potentially be having is a lot of these drones just isn't catching this stuff, and they're not really checking for these kind of things. Like, they ran into multiple Capcans. I think they ran into almost every single Poor Fry. There he goes. We've seen multiple instances of players running into Cowcans, different people. We saw no one really check red until it was too late. No drones, not even a peek from Giafero to clear that out, and 2K ensuing from that. I mean, just so much impact from just not checking for it. That's what happens when you don't really have what I like to call intel accountability, which is who's covering what, who's taking care of what are we gonna drone, what are we gonna clear, don't leave any spots unaccounted for, so that way we don't get caught off guard. It's what I call droner accountability, and unfortunately, Scarlet Hounds really didn't have that, and MSU did a good job taking advantage of that, although they did let Annie walk into statuary, and that was almost a disaster for them.
It'll be interesting to see if they play this round kind of the same way they have. With everything being so even, you don't really know what to expect. It'll be interesting to see if they have a completely different strategy for pushing Kitchen than they did for, you know, say, pushing Trophy, pushing Statuary, but...
And, well, then the thing is, right now, they're still kind of pushing this, pushing from above. We may have seen, or could have possibly seen, you know, some press from First Floor to throw off the extended roam MSUs have been having, but Jalen and Asian Boy will actually take two, bring it to a 2v5 as Asian Boy will get another fry off French, and that's going to be the Vert completely destroyed, and they're going to be free to do whatever they want. However, Ace is now down. That's going to be a huge utility loss as they now have nothing to breach open the wall, and are going to have to force their way through funnels. However, with two nades from the Yana, they're not completely out of options when it comes to utility destruction here, as far as breaking through utility. And we're going to see some serious damage on Tomato as we will have Mary pop it off on the gridlock once again, take out one, and now it is up to Whiffity to win out this 1v4, but the collapse comes in, and Cap will take the last one for Scarlet Hounds to get a sweeping round. Oh, a little bit of teabagging there. Very nice. Rapid fire, dip, potato chip, and now 2-2. And it looks like MSU will be going back up to second floor. And we'll see the Capital again from Asian Boy. I expect to see that for the rest of the taxes. Capital really got the impact there. At least Asian Boy did with his gunny up. And yeah, they completely destroyed the Vert presence, which was huge. And even taking one from the Vert as well, even when there's only two people left on site. A huge setup that allowed Scarlet Hounds to just send one in, pop them, knock them out, and it's a done good deal.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that vertical presence was definitely their biggest threat at that moment. They didn't decide to go in straight push side. They decided to do that full roam clear, and I think they were holding each other's backs a lot better than they were, say, you know, the round before, where they walked into a lot of utility that was bad for them. But I think that round they kind of got it together. We're like, okay, I'm doing this, you're doing this. We're going to, you know, reconvene. This is what we're gonna do. They had a very good strategy, and they were able to cover each other. And I think that's ultimately what won them the round.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you got crosses and you've got proper positioning, it's very easy to flush somebody out, especially with the type of utility that Scarlet Hounds was rocking with Asian Boy on the Capital. It's just a matter of, you know, running them out. But I gotta say, both MSU and Scarlet Hounds have been really forcing the gunfights, and this has just been resulting in some very iffy 50-50 situations. If they want to start picking up more rounds, I would really be, you know, looking to put a bigger emphasis on the control you're getting out of these gunfights and have better accountability for, you know, the roamers positioning and contesting these crosses, because we just see a lot of folding into those crosses, trying to force that aggression, and a lot of times it's on both teams, it's not really working out. 2 minutes left, and we still haven't really seen any gunfight, with Leon aggressively onto main, looking to catch potentially Giafero, who's already deep in first floor. And yeah, Nothing so far as Giaffaro looks to start pushing up top main, but I don't think she has a confirmation of Leon's positioning, and we'll be expecting a gunfight soon, or at least a peek. Lion scan coming in. Giaffaro gonna push up, get a little bit of tap damage from Giaffaro, but still alive. One already close to main. The flash coming in, and Leon is still gonna hold that. Second flash out, still not gonna catch Leon, and now we have one top main, and Giaffaro gonna actually take the defuse. Asian Boy taking the defuse, and Asian Boy barely alive, but Leon just not able to connect those shots onto main, and another Lion Skin comes in. Scarlet Hounds now has full control with Differ out of the board with a minute left.
Keeping that sliver of health on Asian Boy, especially with him being the MVP of Scarlet, I think that's going to be. I think that might have been a mistake for MSU, honestly.
Yeah. And now we're going to see the flashes to push up onto red, and Mato's going to barely catch him, taking another Giaffaro and Jalen out with the gunny up. And we'll see the repellent from Merrily popping, and Mato is just barely not able to get those shots in as he has his little revolver pistol out. And with 30 seconds left, Asian Boy and Mary Pop and Arf are very split, facing their individual ones. Also looking to push out the Cade, and that will be it as Mato is now out with 20 seconds left. There is still 2 shields and all the council boats. They have all their primary utility, but the Goyo is going to go out, and now with 15 seconds left, they don't really have an option except to push through that, especially with the crossfires all watching the same door. Scarlet Hounds is going to have a lot of work to go through in the next few seconds. And French will take Asian Boy, bring it to a 3v1. The Nitro will catch him as he is still on the shield. Mary popping off, not able to back up, and that is going to be another round in favor for MSU.
That was a very good round. That was a round I very much enjoyed watching, especially with the time that Scarlet took. It was honestly, it was good that they were being thorough in their droning, but they really just had to push a little bit faster than they ultimately did. And I think it's that time factor that I was talking about before the game. I think that's ultimately what it came down to.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the other thing that I would just kind of want to point out as well is Scarlet Hounds, they had good control, but they kind of gave it up, I would almost say. They didn't really fight to keep it, and or the Scarlet Hounds did, and MSU they took it back. They pretty much shut down the remainder of what was top main when they started to, push their way up, and they even were going to get top red, but the refrag just did not come in. They try to, they established control, but didn't take it. Instead, try to get even more control while not holding the other, and ended up losing both, resulting in Scarlet Hounds having to continuously fight their way for the same territory they'd already made ground in. So just a lot of overlap that potentially could be avoided, and MSU doing a really good job of retaking and contesting what Scarlet Hound was trying to set up, and Mato getting 2 very good picks, taking the refrag out as well to shut down that top red, or at least to heavily punish it, as they were badly funneled, with Goyo being able to throw that fire to block them out, or at least put them in a incapacitated situation where it's difficult for them to fight through that funnel without just straight up running in or, taking a lot of damage.
And as I noted before, Asian Boy had that sliver of health. Had he gone through that fire, I'm very confident he would not have survived that. So that Goyo canister very much played a big role.
Yeah, no, there is absolutely no way. Actually, if you even touch the fire at that point, you will be instantly down, and you'll die because you won't be able to move in time. Because when you get immediately down, there's that little period where you cannot move, but you can still take damage. Oh, and Capital, Asian Boy just walking straight in, already taken 1. And now MSU looking to try to get maybe aggressive to stop Asian Boy, who's already pushed so far into wall bang, and Giaffaro is going to get caught by Lean. Mato getting down all the way from bar. The intel that Scarlet Hounds needed is now coming in as they bring it to effectively a 3v4, as no one is coming to save Mato on his extended roam. And that's going to be one of the top dogs out for MSU. Mato 8-5. now out, and then the Capital Bolt coming in to hold off D4C, which is gonna allow Scarlet Hounds to push up to top red, no problem. Asian Boy really playing his utility well here, with one smoke still remaining when it comes time for that execute. And now the Ileana clone comes in, is gonna spot one, and here comes a potential push from Asian Boy, which could be devastating as he takes out D4C, and now he's on side, getting Whiffity as well, bringing it to a 1v4, and taking another from Trophy as Scarlet Hounds takes yet another round in an explosion fashion from Asian Boy, putting in the work.
That was a 4K by Asian Boy right there. I think that's the MVP charm. I think that's honestly, with him being the MVP of Scarlet, I definitely think they had that coming.
Yeah,
Course is KD, 1.5, obviously very much surpassed at that round, but he was also playing his utility very well. I think he's a very strong player, and Scarlet would not be the same without him.
They've got a good player on him, and he knows what he's doing. Made that work very well. And I mean, Mato honestly was playing not bad. Looking over the bar isn't much of a bad move, but getting caught by the intel when there's soft walls all around you is not exactly a good situation. You gotta be, pretty self-sustaining as far as combatives go. And, when you're on drones, you're getting spotted like that, and you're just still there, crouched, yeah, you're gonna get knocked the hell out. And that's unfortunately what happened for MSU, I'm sorry, I'm fumbling now, I can't remember. That was... Sorry, yeah, no, that was MSU, actually, as we are now on, I believe, the swap, right? 3-3? I'm having a hard time seeing.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Yep, and now MSU will be looking to head over to Master Trophy and go for a horizontal take. We'll see if Scarlet Hounds is going to be able to have that same denial that we saw from before. Maybe so, maybe not. It's hard to say, but Jalen will get knocked out by Lean, who even had a shield, and that's going to be a loss of utility from the shield, and another loss of person, and Lean will take Asian Boy as well. That's going to be a double kill, bringing it to a 5v3, and now the hop in, and we haven't even seen any Jackal scans. Alright, looks like we are unfortunately going to have a technical timeout soon, but regardless, I mean, we saw 2 picks already from Lean 4, look at that, and now Diff4C is already up by top red, putting that pressure onto site as Scarlet Hounds is just struggling right now. They've already lost 2 of the roamers, but there is going to be one ramping up to red, and Diff4C is going to just take him out as he is now ready, just running up without a care in the world, or at least thinking that there isn't a care to give in the world anyway. The one which he's out of, as it is now a 5v2 situation.
I think it's important to note that he was running up red stairs after he was pinged by Jackal, because, obviously moving around and is
Wait,
going
what?
to be...
What? Okay. Wait, no, did he just kill somebody trying to kill the down did I just see that correctly? No.
That's what's... I mean... Honestly, obviously with the down person, you're not gonna know a ton, but that's exactly what lining up will get you. I've gotten multiple penetration kills, multiple double kills in that fashion just because people are lining up. So
that's so unfortunate. Yeah.
I mean,
that's crazy.
I mean, with the, what was it, a 5v2 at that point? It didn't look it didn't look terribly good for Scarlet in that, but just getting killed by that's so unlucky.
I mean, yeah, there's really not a lot to go off of at that point, but, I mean, yeah, that's not the best thing to have happen to you, motivation-wise. That's quite unfortunate.
As some of my ranked teammates would say, that right there is siege timing.
Oh, yeah, very, very much so siege timing. Couldn't agree more. Goodness, goodness, goodness.
5 seconds to insertion. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse.
Alright, now MSU is going to be over by Fountainside. Going to be doing the same horizontal as before, and why wouldn't they? I mean, We saw it clearly worked before, and we'll do it again. And another thing I want to mention, MSU, that they're doing well, they're not having everybody fully funneled. They have one person over by study side once they get that control, and they are putting Scarlet Hounds on a pinch, which is exactly what you want to do. That is a good move. They can keep that up while also having the same clearing power that they did on the first round, taking Jalen and taking, I believe it was Asian Boy out so early on. They're going to be in a very good situation to win out this first match. But it has been close so far with a 4-3 currently. Jalen trying to get active once again. Is he going to get early picked again? Nope, because he's going to be rotating down the Skylight hallway.
I think rotating down is a very interesting choice there because every time they push bedroom, there's always been that very, very aggressive closet hold. So rotating down and not really having any more of that closet hold, I wonder how that's going to impact.
Well, and that's the thing is now Scarlet Hounds is already in a better situation because instead of dealing with a 5v3 early on, they're in a 5v5, which is much better off for pretty much Scarlet Hounds to take another round here as they're not in such a desperate situation. So, I mean, playing it safe is honestly the better move. However, 90's now getting pushed out as well as DeCabi looking to push up Fire French, and Fire French is going to take heavy damage, but Asian Boy will take 90 control back, taking 1, taking 2, and now there is 1 over on the 90 repel, but Asian Boy just not giving a crap about it. However, he's going to still be able to stay alive, now looking to contest and take that headshot for another pick. The impact going in, taking serious damage on Tomato, but still alive as it doesn't kill, and Nagoyo coming out. Asian Boy rotating back to site with the 2 picks. He's done his damage, and the time is running low for MSU. All right, we're going to see another flash come in. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think with that window play, it was very, very important to get those picks, especially without losing any health at that. I really think MSU should have done a little bit better there.
Oh my gosh, and Asian Boy is going to take a quad kill as well. Give him the ace, ladies and gentlemen. Give it to him. He has earned this. I mean, always being in the right place at the right times. MSU just
looks like he's in the right place again. Oh,
Ooh.
and he gets picked off there.
That's not going to be an ace for you, my friend Asian Boy. You did very well, and you've done your job with 15 seconds left. Mato does not have a lot of options here, but takes another pick, bringing it to 1v3. And with only 1 canister remaining, he has a chance, but Giafaro will shut that down from books.
That Asian Boy play right there, that 4K, that was, I feel like that was crucial to the round right there. That window play, that 90 play, that was essential to their success. And it's unfortunate he couldn't get the ace. The Hibana actually did really well that round. It's just they weren't able to pick off Asian Boy soon enough. MSU wasn't, so. And I think that, you know, him getting that 4K, keeping that 90 control, I think that's ultimately how they were able to win that round.
Oh yeah, and the thing I want to compliment Scarlet Hounds on is they did a really good job falling off when the pressure started piling on, which could have been a really bad situation, losing more people early like that once again. And MSU just got too greedy, pushed up very far, and did not account for, you know, Asian Boy, instead of continuing to fully fall off, decided to contest and took 2 with him, taking DeCabi and Iana out, and then rotating around and getting a few more to throw off MSU. They just assumed that Scarlet Hounds was going to fully fall off to site, and they would just be able to, you know, sweep their way in, and that is not what happened as well at all, as Asian Boy, who's currently 13-6, a massive behemoth at the moment, turned around and just whipped everyone out. And I mean, that's the thing when it comes to macro strats. You want to throw off your opponent and even bait them into thinking you're doing a full off or a run off, when in actuality you're about to just turn around and sweep. Though I will admit, though, to be fair, Asian Boy did do a lot of the work there, so it's hard to say if we were seeing a similar outcome with Asian Boy, what if he was eliminated at any point. But who's to say? Jalen already taking heavy damage. Fire French will catch Jalen out from what looks to be an early spawn peak, and that is going to be massive utility and a nitro off the board for Scarlet Hounds. That is not something you want to see.
Playing that Twitch with the 419 or 417, that's I mean, I feel like it's an interesting play, but obviously it worked out here to pick off that spawn piece.
Yep. And here's the thing too that you got to keep in mind is a lot of people are not keen on playing F2 anymore after the recoil changes. Twitch is pretty much exactly where Buck was back when he was first released. I mean, now obviously that's an over exaggeration, but I mean that is unfortunately a situation where Twitch is in is her F2 has so much recoil that a lot of people are actually opting for the 417. Now personally,
Yeah.
I never liked that. DMR. I don't know, something about it just doesn't feel right. But if you can make it work, you can make it work. Whatever.
I played the 417 on Sens just because the POF, I really don't like it.
Blech.
But
Sense. Bad op. In my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. All right, and we're going to see some flashes coming in from MSU to try to get some control, but we haven't seen too much of that so far, as with 1 minute 15 seconds left, Scarlet with 4 people still alive have a good opportunity to hold out. However, Mato is now trying to sneak up from Astro Stairs, trying to get a bit of wall banging going, but none of that is going to connect. Zofia going to be rendezvousing as well, so Mato and DeForce can make a push up, but they're still getting held back by Andy Sandwalker, and we're gonna see Asia Boy take one already from Master, and that's gonna be Whiffity taken out, bringing it to the 44. Mato walking up, Mozzie taking one, now down to with 3v4. MSU, they're gonna get that push in. It's now as Mato needs to really play out of pocket here and take that opportunity. Smoke coming in is going to force him to push up. Is he going to get caught here by the smoke, or is he going to do the opposite by pushing at just an unexpected time? Fire French taking a bit of damage, going to catch Andy Sandwalker from that position, but Asia Boy will get that refrag. Now bringing it down to a 1v2 as the execute starts to fall apart. But the Say is still over in Master, looking to push up to the door, now into Statuary, and is going to get caught. Take one, but Asia Boy will get the refrag from Trophy, and that is going to be another round for Scarlet Hounds.
I gotta say, with the on MSU, Melee opened that window, especially when they knew that site was Trophy Statuary. I gotta say, that was a very, very bad play there. Obviously, that sound cue as well, where they have to punch it 3 times, to me, it was very evident someone was going to rotate around and get that ping.
Oh yeah, no, it's only natural that you're gonna, check that. Because, I mean, even if you immediately hold that angle off the first melee, there's still a little bit of time where you can still, swing that and not exactly have your gunny up. So you really shouldn't be, be facing the window as you're breaking that. So definitely not the play there. But if you feel that you are rushed and you know for a fact that no one's there, maybe you would do that. But
it's especially with Whiffity having the pistol out too. Like, I just don't see what was going on with that play there. I really don't think that was definitely not the right play, and I really don't know what they're thinking.
No. And I mean, MSU had a good chance to initiate there, especially with Mato sneaking up to Astro, but they just didn't really play off of that, unfortunately, and that just allowed, Scarlet Hounds to retake. I mean, they even lost their smoke, which was a huge opportunity for MSU, but they really couldn't take it as there was really no one there to follow up when Asian Boy got that refrag and started to contest the execute. MSU being a bit split there, but if anything is a pattern, we are on first floor, and we did see a sweep from Scarlet Hounds when they were on attack. Maybe MSU will pull something similar.
I think with the setup here, it's important to note Jalen. That same wall that they had Iana walk into, what, 3rd round, I would say. Had 2 Kapkans on it, put them in down but not out state. Now it has 3, which is going to be an instant kill if anyone walks through that and does not check that. It'll be interesting to see if that impacts the round in any way.
Oh yeah, but I highly doubt that MSU is gonna fall for the same thing that they pulled off. I would be really disappointed if that happened. Okay, it's like you pulled that same thing and you're falling for it after you just did it. kind of questionable, but who knows? Maybe they'll have a missed drone or just miscommunication on that as well. And Mato will actually take Asian Boy. That is going to be Malusi out. That's going to be a massive pick, as Asian Boy is currently 16-7. And that is going to be the opening opportunity for MSU. The Nitro comes in, but it's going to get shot out. And now getting stuck as Jalen looks to push up, but Lean 4 is going to be being a good teammate, watching out for him. And that is going to be another take from Scarlet Hounds out, bringing it to a 5v3.
I think he only knew. I think he only thought there was one person, maybe two, but one pushing far back. Not all three of them coming to, you know, essentially just punch him in the face.
Oh yeah, and I mean, if he held that Nitro, that would have been a good situation for him. You know, he could have, or he would have been in the corner. He couldn't have got swung. Sleds would have been taken out for our friend, and then you would have been ready to take out Lean 4 for the refrag. But that's not the situation we have now. They have full vert control, and the fuse charges coming in from D4SA is going to pretty much clear out any utility that is there. And with no Nitros left, with Jalen being out, it is now pretty much free territory from above, except for maybe a little bit of vert gunfighting, which honestly Scarlet Hounds might have to do to try to, you know, contest the control that they have right now. With 35 seconds left, you know, MSU still has to push in. They have not really done that, as now the smoke cancers come out, and he's still having one left. He still has an ability to win this. Giafero now taking Fry off French. Numbers is getting it even. If MSU is going to make something happen, he need to do it now. And he's going to whip the SMG-11. Bring it to a 5v2 as now the D4CA is in. But Giafero will take one. D4CA getting that pick. And now it is up to a 3v1 with Lean 4 taking Mary popping off. And that is going to be around for MSU, as we are now, I believe, 5-5. A very, very close game so far. Switching off and on.
Yeah, that SMG-11 with definitely, I definitely think that impacted the round, and at least a little bit. It's that recoil though. It's that recoil that he had to get down with 1280 rounds per minute that it fires. And honestly, it's kind of surprising to see someone at this level not really having that recoil control that they very much need for a gun like that.
Hey, I mean, I played for a baller team last semester, and even I whiffed on the SMG-11. So gotta give a man a break. I totally get it. But no, I do agree. Like, allowing someone to push up to rotate and getting into sight like that is not what you want. That is a very unfortunate situation. And now, because of that, Scarlet Hounds has lost their lead, bringing it down to 5-5. But really, it hasn't really been for certain any particular person's game. It's been pretty close, honestly, when it comes to round differentials. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what we've seen, Asian Boys had a very, very good game. Mato's had a very good game as well. And, I mean, those were our MVPs, so it makes sense. But it's just interesting to see how they've played so well. And then, you know, you look at pretty much the rest of their team, and everyone's negative or close to.
Yeah, I mean, it tends to be like that sometimes. You get these teams that often get like one player that kind of leads. I don't want to say carry, but, you know, is taking a lot of those main gunfights for you, and you lose them. Or lose that main person who's doing the initiation. Now you have to, it kind of throws things off a little bit. You know, that's a common situation you have with these collegiate teams. You'll have one player who's like the super fragger, and everyone else just kind of plays around, supports, you know, helps with the setup and all of that. But if you lose that super fragger early on, it can often cause a lot of problems. And we do see that often tends to be a reason why a lot of defense rounds are lost, is because that fragger tends to roam solo, be really aggressive, and just doesn't survive. But Mato will take that super fragger, Asian Boy, and now it is going to be a 5v4. Exactly what I'm talking about. And that right there might be enough for Scarlet Hounds to take another round loss. I mean, like I said, that's their super fragger out. That's the thing that stinks about defense, when you got that one person who's always taking those entries and dying early. But Mary popping off will take one. It's going to be D4SA, but Mato will take Mary popping off in a refrag. And now having that first floor control with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. But we do have one slowly walking down main, and that's going to be Giafero, as Goyo is going to catch Mato with the great crosshair placement. And now with a 3v3, everyone has done their damage, but Fire French isn't done. Taking Jalen, knocking it down to a 3v2 with Giafero off site. Annie Sandwalker is on a lot of pressure right now to hold off site on his own. Actually, over by Vault now. This is a good opportunity for MSU to get that refrag and get that side control, as Giaferro actually is now over in bar, going to be helping to hold on to side, but we're going to see major damage for Andy Sandwalker as they know he's over in Vault. And honestly, it's just a matter of time before Andy Sandwalker gets knocked out, unless he can barely hold on to that health and hold those corners. But with Lean 4 still having a nade, it doesn't pose a good situation. And with that, we're going to see potentially the last canister get thrown out, as there's still some utility stall, but not going to be enough to stall this MSU push entirely. And with that, the last Goyo or Nitro coming out as well, and there goes the nade, and it's gonna catch Andy Sandwalker, who's holding the corner, and now it is down to a 3v1 as Sledge walks in and Giaferro gets taken by Lean, and that is gonna be around for MSU as they are at match point.
I've got to say that Asian boy pick was definitely crucial in this round, because as we can see here, everyone else on Scarlet's team is negative. So picking off Asian Boy early was very good. They managed to get 2 picks that round, but it just wasn't enough without their major fragger on the board.
But I mean, like I said, it's something you tend to see a lot over in this kind of realm. It's just when you don't really have a lot of or high pool of players, you are restricted to your university. That often happens. You have one player that's an outlier, and everyone just kind of falls suits in a similar skill cluster. That's a lot of times how it tends to go. But honestly, MSU is looking a little bit, I would say, somewhat balanced. As you know, you still have Fry French putting in the work, obviously Mato, and Lean's doing pretty well also. So I mean, KD wise is a little bit more spread out, but Asian Boy is just an absolute demon on Scarlet Hounds. And not only that, it's not like Asian Boy is just taking, like, you know, bait kills or useless frags. No, a lot of those picks are extremely high value picks. So that's how we're so close, because it really just comes down to the behemoths clashing, at least to an extent. It also really comes down to your droning and your positioning, setting up those crosses, getting the site set up, the standard stuff. But I mean, that has been a factor where from time to time it is not.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that point.
All right. And with that, we are already seeing Mato looking to possibly hop in, and she will be over in piano room, I'm sorry, and is gonna have that free first floor control as drones come in. No, they know that Scarlet Hounds, there's no one really first floor, so that's gonna be huge control with Whiffity covering pretty much all of the lobby library side information to give Mato the free reign to move wherever he pleases, which could really do them a lot of good, as they have 2 sets of nades, and that's gonna allow them to nade as well. But they have a barricade on the double, but nobody's there. Interesting. And here we go. We have both Lean 4 and D4C on the nades. We're going to see possibly a lot of picks. However, Asian Boy is creeping down main. Has an impact, but I think a drone just spotted him. So that's going to force him to back off. And there we go. We have the first nade. Not going to catch anyone. Not even going to get a bit of damage. However, Mary popping off, who has been lurking basement this whole time. Now slowly looking to sneak up, but there's no one really over there. With 1 minute and 23 seconds, that lurk is not going to be a high impact unless he can make his way over where everybody is. And he's seemingly still over by baseband. We're going to see Mato walking up to main. Gonna take Asian Boy as he is not looking. And that is a heavy hitter out. And we now see the move up into top main. But Annie Sandwalker will take Fry off French, bringing it to a 4v4, and Giaferro still has 90, which is going to pose for a problem for MSU to win out this match.
You know, with their library play down there, it was really interesting to see everything barricaded. That's something I see in very, very early level games, that it generally only works when you don't have a solid roamer.
Yeah, but Jalen will take Mato, though, so, I mean, that's something.
Yeah, with Asian Boy off the board, they seem to be coping pretty well. It's good to see a little bit of the other members kind of, you know, stepping into that fragger role and, you know, bring their KD up a little. Because these past 2 rounds, Asian boys, it was 16-7, 16-8, 16-9. Wasn't able to get any picks, so.
Yep, and now with 10 seconds left, Liftity trying to make something happen and get that 90 push out, and will actually take one, is gonna walk in and get that plant out with lean 4 covering, gonna be taking one over Vault, that's gonna be Andy Sandwalker down, and it's gonna catch Jaeger on the Vault rotate as well, but Liftity will get down by Jalen from the breach hole, who is now over in study. It is now up to Lean to finish out this game with 35 seconds left. This is still very winnable as Jalen does not have any nitros, and a BP that's going to confirm that Lean is over in Vault. And now we see the defuse coming in halfway down with 2 seconds left. He's going to go up and Lean will catch Jalen, and that is going to be the first game for MSU.
That was a very interesting round right there. I really thought that Scarlet had, even with their fragger taken out, it was looking so good for them. 2v4, you know, down 2v3, and then that sledge Lean just pulled out, you know, pulled out his trump card from his back pocket and just boom, 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 took them all out.
And the thing I want to mention as well, both teams are honestly, MSU did really well when it came to, you know, everyone playing their part. Sure, D4C and, or, I'm sorry, D4C and, I'm going insane, but you get what I'm saying. We have our 2 players who are not exactly top fragging, but we saw their drones all over the map covering the top fraggers, so they can just walk in with little to no difficulty. Yeah, no, I was right. D4C and Wiffity, they covered a lot of ground with their droning, even though they weren't exactly top fraggers, and that was huge for MSU Green to walk up and get where they needed to be.
I completely agree on that point. If you're not fragging, it doesn't matter if you're providing good callouts, if you're providing good utility, if you're being the one, you know, droning in or kind of, you know, taking time off the clock, holding people, like, that's perfectly fine if you don't get any kills. You need to be a solid player in some aspect, and KD's definitely not the only thing that goes into this game. There's very much a lot of strategy involved, and I would argue that strategy is much more important than any amount of kills.
Right. All right. With that being said, we're going to be heading on break real quick. We will be back shortly soon. So I'll see you guys in just a bit.
Seconds left.
Have the glass.
What
What
if
an
execute
execute
goes out?
Looking to increase your aim? Kovacs is one of the best aim trainers and a proud partner of Midwest R6. Upgrade your FPS skills with over 21,000 scenarios, map editors, and much more. Kovacs. Want to build your resume? Midwest is looking for volunteers in many different categories that fit your desire. Want to do digital marketing? We got you. Interested in statistics, moderation, production, or social media? This is the place for you. Build your career and resume with Midwest R6. All members will shadow their design position and be given a shot at the big leagues. Do you think you have what it takes? Send us your resume to midwestrr6league@gmail.com or fill out your interest form located in the Midwest R6 Discord server.
He's halfway up now. Halfway up, like.
Robo getting taken down. Yana just walking in the.
Oh, Sludge.
Come on! But not realizing there's a second player there. It's a 1v1.
The blitz is in.
Oh, but
West R6 is looking for league sponsorships. Want to be a part of many college students' next journey? Midwest R6 focuses to give college students and beyond an opportunity to get real-world experience in their desired career field or a hobby they enjoy. Midwest R6 aims to work with businesses that believe what people do matters. Want to be a part of the journey? Send us an email at midwestr6league@gmail.com to get started.
Seconds left.
Have the glass. What an
Execute goes down. Able to fly to the next one.
Looking to increase your aim? Kovacs is one of the best aim trainers and a proud partner of Midwest R6. Upgrade your FPS skills with over 21,000 scenarios, map editors, and much more. Kovacs. Want to build your resume? Midwest is looking for volunteers in many different categories that fit your desire. Want to do digital marketing? We got you. Interested in statistics, moderation, production, or social media? This is the place for you. Build your career and resume with Midwest R6. All members will shadow their design position and be given a shot at the big leagues. Do you think you have what it takes? Send us your resume to midwestrr6league@gmail.com or fill out your interest form located in the Midwest R6 Discord server.
He's halfway up now. Halfway up, like.
Robo getting taken down. Yana just walking in the.
Oh, Sludge. Oh,
Come on! But not realizing there's a second player there. It's a 1v1.
The blitz is in.
oh, but
Midwest R6 is looking for league sponsorships. Want to be a part of many college students' next journey? Midwest R6 focuses to give college students and beyond an opportunity to get real-world experience in their desired career field or a hobby they enjoy. Midwest R6 aims to work with businesses that believe what people do matters. Want to be a part of the journey? Send us an email at midwestrr6league@gmail.com to get started.
Seconds left.
have the glass. What an
Execute goes down. Able to fly to the next one.
Looking to increase your aim? Kovacs is one of the best aim trainers and a proud partner of Midwest R6. Upgrade your FPS skills with over... Alright, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be getting this next game ready, but we're going to be doing a bit of a recap for what we just saw right there. Lucas, do you have any initial thoughts on what we saw for that game?
I just gotta say, what a match that was. It seemed like Discord, Twitter, everything was really going towards MSU. And while they did win that one game, it was much closer than I think anybody thought it was going to be. I could definitely see the second game going towards Scarlet. I feel like it very much might. We'll have to bring it to the third round because that was very close. Both teams played that very well.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was a close game. And honestly, I usually can say this, but not for one or in this league. But for once, I really can't say that any team had really any glaring flaws in their gameplay. I mean, both teams did have good adaptations. Both teams, they played pretty well, and it was a very close game. I mean, there was really no clear mistakes. The only thing I would probably say might be a concern is kind of, the differences in KOST potential among the players. Like, the KOST differences was massive. Like, massive. You have 1 to 3 players on each team that their KOST was extremely high, like 80 like anywhere from 70 up to 100%, and you had some players their KOST was like up to 20 to 30%. So I mean, but then again, you always got to have your droners, but when it came down to them being the last people alive, it usually meant end of the round. Like, that's it. So, I mean, I don't know. I would probably say maybe try to switch up the roles in your scrims just to try to, increase your clutch ability. But other than that, I really don't think the teams did or any team had any particular weaknesses. They both played well, very well, played to their strengths, worked off of each other, and were able to gun out. I will say we did see a lot of forced gunfights early on, but that started to slow down later on as we saw nading.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
I think it's also interesting, at least something that I picked up on. Um, I don't know the exact percentage, but I would say, you know, anywhere from like 75 to 85% of the rounds, whichever team got the first pick ended up winning. And so I think that first pick, I think that's going to go into this match being like a very crucial thing. I
Yeah.
could be completely wrong. It could completely flip around, but I think that that first pick in a lot of what we've seen there, it's just it kind of provides that momentum for the team to go on win the round.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And one thing I want to mention as well before we start was that map was actually Scarlet Hounds map choice. They chose Villa, and despite that, they unfortunately lost the map. In a very close game, mind you, they did lose that map. So it's gonna be the pressure is gonna be on as Chalet is MSU's map, but this is a very winnable map. It's very balanced and it's a good map. It really comes down to who's got the better strats, and MSU seemingly thinks they've got it down pat. But maybe Scarlet Hounds has something in their back pocket that allowed them to bring this to a third map.
And then I also think it'll be interesting to see if MSU just goes in kind of what they've been doing, or if maybe a little bit of dominance or arrogance kind of gets in their way. I, I
Perhaps.
I think it'll be interesting to see if something like that does happen, or if, you know, they just keep playing how they have been and we end up with another game that's just as thrilling as the first one.
Right. And with this second game, now we are on to the bands with Scarlet Hounds. Starting off the first bands, and we will see a Ying band. Lucas, what do you think of that?
That
Huh?
Oh, that is an interesting band. That is a very interesting band, honestly.
Did
Did we
we
see a lot of Ying play? I don't think we did.
I really don't think so. Scarlet Hounds has to have some background information or some experience, some very bad experiences with Ying to pull out a band like that, and then we see the knock band. What are the defense bands gonna look like? Okay, we're gonna see
Azami.
Azami. I feel like Scarlet Hounds is gonna pull out another out-of-pocket band because that was wild. A Ying band. I mean,
A
don't get me
little
wrong,
bit,
she is
yeah.
very good on this map, but now I don't know what the next one's gonna be. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I'm vying for a soloist band here. I think she's very beneficial on this map, but I'm not sure if that be Valkyrie. All right, that not a bad band in my opinion.
Both are
Uh,
all are pretty good bands, but like I said, Ying, I have not seen a Ying band. Oh gosh, I don't even remember the last time I've seen a Ying band in ranked or goodness forbid competitive.
oh,
This
I'm a low gold player. I don't see a Ying like ever either. So it's a very interesting thing that they said pull out, but I mean, we'll see if it works out for them. Now that Flores is on the board, I think that could definitely be very beneficial for one team, as well as Thatcher being on the board, especially with them starting in the basement. Snowmobile garage, being able to get the stuff off that wall, I think unless that bandit is you know, really good at tricking, I think that they're gonna get that wall open. That's just gonna provide a lot more pressure.
Yeah, it is a potential situation for them. But here's the thing you got to keep in mind as well. If Scarlet Hounds does a good job of holding mezzanine and holding third floor, or at the very least holding first floor, or I'm sorry, yeah, holding first floor, then you know that's gonna prove a lot of problems for MSU to contest that because they can only deal with it from the outside. However, D4C is on the Thatcher, but you can still trick with that. Though with Matto with his own EMP charges, you can double dip and possibly catch it before the EMP really or the bandit charge has the ability to do full effect. I'm not sure. We'll just have to see, but you might have a point on them getting that wall open. It doesn't look like there's much contest from above if they try to go for vert to get those bandit charges off, as they are going direct with the Thatcher at the moment.
And already the wall is open.
Well, there goes all that utility. Also, I'm just being informed that there is a poll about whether I have shower curtains. You guys are ridiculous. All right, and lean forward, getting the first pick onto West Main, and now he pushes up over to Solarium Stairs to take another one, but we see the fallback onto the stairs, and lean forward is still going in, fully committing, and he's going to commit and catch Jalen out, and that is going to be Solus and Oryx, both resolute roamers off the board.
No, I think playing Solus up there, I don't think that was the right move. I feel like she would have been much better, a lot closer to site, finding that utility, droning out where a lot more people were instead of roaming off on her own. I think that Solus death is going to definitely impact the round.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's going to be less denial when it comes to drone. It's going to be flanking completely out of the way. And now with the walls open, Scarlet Hounds is effectively pinched, and we see the swing in to take out one on the refrag, and the plant is going to go down from Whiffity, and Ace will be taken out. We see a 3v2, but MSU with the man advantage could potentially win this out, but Lean 4 is going to be struggling with this swing, as we will see Whiffity eliminated. Lean 4 barely alive, low on HP, as Garifero and Mary popping off are trying to get very aggressive to take this. But the nade goes in, gonna be pushing out the Umai. An impact, don't know where that was going. And a nade is gonna catch Giafero, bum lean 4, and now with 15 seconds left, Mary Poppins catches Iana, now has to find Motto to get the defuse down, who is over above. And now we see the fake defuse to try to catch him, and the swing from Motto still gets Mary popping off, despite the fact that he knew where he was and was trying to bait a fake defuse.
That vertical play right there, I think that was a very, very good idea that they had. I feel like that was that hatch reinforced, do we know?
I do not believe so. I think it was actually soft. Correct me if I'm mistaken. And either way, having that hatch open and having everything set up the way it was really put Scarlet Hounds in a bad spot. And this is the problem that I tell people when it comes to playing basement on this site, and why I think more experienced teams will opt out of playing basement entirely. When you open every single wall, it is almost impossible to hold anything except Blue Hole and Connector. Why? Because they're the only rooms in the entire basement floor, other than, you know, mini garage, which will have been cleared out at that point, unless you didn't clear a trophy and one drops the hatch. Those are the only places you can play off.
Yeah, if you get Snowmobile Garage open, there's more angles than there are people on a team, and that very much could define what makes or breaks a round. It looks like they may try the bandit trick again. And it'll be interesting to see if they're able to trick it a little better this time. Not get the wall open before 45 seconds have passed, but I guess we'll see. I did also notice with their setup, they are reinforcing that hatch this time, so I feel like after, you know, that hatch being what won MSU the round, I feel like they're starting to play that a little more, a little smarter, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, no, they're definitely gonna have to play smarter here, and we already see the wall getting open, and the band trick's gonna go on the wrong side of the wall as Whiffity gets the wall open anyway, and a nitro getting thrown by Annie Sandwalker as well. That is gonna be not only the wall is getting open, but a loss of nitro for a kill potential, and the wall's already getting open from Winecellar's side. MSU moving very, very fast. The Lions go up and scan call coming in, and Scarlet Hounds, barely anybody's lives have been lost, and you're already in a bad spot. Jalen taking heavy damage from Motto, trying to get a pick, not gonna go through. Lean 4, catch a Mary popping off, and that's gonna be the view jam down, and another nitro. With no nitros left to Scarlet Hounds, they have no way to contest the walk-in plant from Whiffity, other than to actually swing, and another nade coming in to catch Giafero out, and now the Lions game coming in, gonna put Scarlet Hounds in a really bad spot. Asian Boy will get Motto, Fry of French taking Annie Sandwalker in response, now to a 4v3. But we still have Asian Boy on the roam, but Giafero is down, and Whiffity will catch Giafero, and Whiffity will begin to get the plant down. Jalen catching French off, but it doesn't matter as Oryx gets taken out, and it is up to him, but Lean 4 will shut down any chance of that happening.
You know, I think with just, even with the like I said, that getting that snowmobile garage open that's crucial. That opens up just a complete another line of sight that it's just very hard to contest, especially with every other angle you've got to watch. I mean, even in snowmobile garage with that wall open, there's already 4 different points they could potentially come from, unless you got a few of them watched by other people. So so I think opening that garage, where they were able to get it both rounds, I definitely think that played a major factor in each round.
Well, I mean, yeah, they had that experience with the map or with the side. They knew exactly how Scarlet Hounds was gonna play it, and just said, okay, let's just do everything we just did, open up all the walls, and let's do it even faster. And Scarlet Hounds thinking, okay, maybe we can adapt, make something work here. They still don't manage to get the walls denied. I mean, Whiffity was just able to walk right up to the wall, to garage, get that wall open, no problem. If you're gonna play that site again, you have got to be aggressive. But if anyone was being aggressive, it was not Scarlet Hounds, it was MSU getting everything open immediately.
They already had multiple people in after a minute had passed. I believe 3 or 4 of them were already in some capacity, and so them being aggressive and getting using that time, because they only get 3 minutes. Yeah, being able to push without feeling rushed, as we saw Scarlet was rushed on 1 or 2 of their attack rounds last week. I think pushing in and not getting rushed is definitely something that they've worked on, something that they are very good at, and something that could definitely play a role in this match.
Yeah, absolutely, you're 100% right about that. But with Scarlet Hounds now going to first floor, this is an opportunity to possibly win around here for the first time. I'd hope so. I mean, they literally went basement twice and did not catch a single round. Otherwise, they're gonna be in a bit of a pinch going forward. If they're not able to catch rounds now, they might even need to call a timeout to break that momentum that MCU had from the fact that he won 2 rounds in a row. And with that, we are already 1 minute and 40 seconds left, and no picks have came out yet. However, MSU is slowly taking that second floor control, with DFC holding the prone very passively to try to potentially catch Asian Boy if he over-aggresses, or even Frost, Jalen. However, they're playing this well. They're playing passively. They're not falling into these gunfights, falling into Scarlet Hound's hands. And it's hurting them time-wise, as they're down to 1 minute and 15 seconds and nothing. Oh, Jalen getting up right as someone is there and still staying alive somehow, with Giafero also mezzaning. MSU all funneled over to connector. Whiffity taking a bit of damage, still up though. It is anyone's round at this point, but I don't know, MSU is not looking good. However, Whiffity will actually take a pick onto Jalen. DFC getting Asian Boy. And there goes that vert control. And now they gotta move fast. Giafero still over library. Almost catches one prone, but gets DFC. And there is not gonna be a refrag on him, as he just freely falls back. No problem at all. MSU, what just happened there with the refrag?
Oh, that refrag, they just didn't have a lot of people covering each other, and I think that's definitely something you're going to need. I don't think it was a matter of communication. I just think it was a matter of people not playing where they needed to be to get that back.
Yep. But despite that, Scarlet Hounds is able to start taking back some control, bringing it down to a 2v2, but now a 1v2 as MSU tries to push up. Whiffity getting taken out, but Matta will be able to take one over on the connector. But with 4 seconds left, he's got to get the plant tower, takes this gunfight, and he pushes out. But the goo mine is going to slow him down. He's not going to be able to clear out Legion from the corner. The utility saving a round for Scarlet Hounds. What a close round. They almost had it. MSU just had to get that one pick, but the Legion caught him and slowed him down to a crawl.
You know, there's a lot of times I don't see just one single piece of utility winning a round, but I have had that happen before. There was, one time I was actually playing ranked on, I want to say, Consulate, and in Garage, it was me and some other guy, and there was like 5 seconds left. I shoot the guy down him because he has Rook armor, and they end up winning the round because of that. And so obviously that was, huge detriment to our team. We were all pretty mad about that, but it just really goes to show that a single piece of utility can be just that ever so crucial tipping point that would turn the scale in favor of one team.
Yeah, absolutely. And oh my gosh, that was so close. And I have had that happen to me with the Rook armor. I was so angry. I had literally downed him, and I had to, I just had to finish him off, right? And I couldn't because the timer was down to 0, and I just barely killed him, and I ran out of bullets, right? I switched to my pistol to finish him off, and the timer ran out. I was like, what? I was unbelievably angry. I was mauling, you might say, and I think it was Rook too. My hatred for Rook flourished from that very moment.
It happens to the best of us.
Yep, it sure does. And now we're gonna be kitchen mining with MSU going for a mezzanine side take with Mato sneaking in from trench, doing what he does best, getting a bit of that, lurk kind of positioning, and then running in when the timing is just right. But will Mato have that timing? Hard to say.
I gotta say, it looks like Scarlet's pretty spread out here. It'll be interesting to see if, one of them gets picked off, if they're even going to be able to get any refrags with just how far they're spread out along second floor.
Right, but we will see Lean take Asian Boy over from Mezzanine. I mean, we've seen one pick from each team, so it is kind of working out, but I do agree, being spread out like that is very dangerous when it comes to refragability. That is just how it works in these type of games, but MCU still has that round advantage, so I mean, who knows, they might be able to take this round. This is their map after all, but we're not seeing a lot of above presence over in bedroom or master at the moment. Jalen's still over in bathroom, but as far as MCU goes, they've not gotten that control quite yet. The Atlanta clone coming out as Friar French looks to move up. They spot one over in bathroom. That's going to be Jalen. And Friar French is going to start pushing up to start taking that control, but backup is here. The cavalry's here for Scarlet Hounds, as now Giafero is there with them. The Lions Gang coming in, but we're not going to see much aggression as MSU doesn't take much off the Lions Gans, now trying to hold passive here and possibly catch one off of the master holes. However, with a minute left, if they're going to get that control, they need to do that really soon. The Nitro going out, not going to do any damage to anybody, for a matter of fact. We still have Mato holding below for that lurk play that I am talking about, but it has not happened yet. There it is, and he is onto sight, but is going to get immediately shut down by Jalen, and we're going to see Annie Sandwalker take one as well, now bringing it down to a 2v3. The Lions can come in, that's going to be the last one, and it's not going to catch anyone. Lean forward, trying to take one on the quick peek, but it doesn't go through, but here comes a nade. The ping going out. Is it going to go through? It does serious damage to Annie, but he is still up and fighting. However, Fly French is going to take one. That's going to be Annie down, and now it's up to Giafero, who is still above off-site. With 15 seconds left, we need to see a plan, or MSU is not going to win this. The confirmed kill comes in. Lean forward, now going for the plan, but Giafero is going to be running in to try to deny the defuse. A ping coming in for the bomb defuse, funneled on the door. Is going to catch Fire French, but is out of bullets. He's got to take this fire with the form with a pistol, and he gets it on a triple kill on the retake. And that is going to be Scarlet Hounds' second round.
What a play that was, Giafero. I mean, rotating down that fast after, teammate was down 1v2, getting the pick on Lion. They both didn't see each other until the last second, and then pulling out the pistol and somehow able to kill the planter. It was that was an absolutely phenomenal play. I really thought that MSU had that one in the bag.
I just can't believe that Giafero won that. I mean, he was hard funneled on diffuser. He knew that Iana was behind, or Lean Forward was behind diffuser, and even despite not even initially looking at Lion when he swung, just missed his shot and absolutely flicked onto Lion, destroying him, and still was able to hold on to the corner just long enough to pistol whip Lean Forward. I mean, my goodness, that is what you call a retake. Although, granted, in my opinion, with that funneling onto bomb chassis, we all know how I thought that should have went. But I mean, if you got the better gunfighting, that's all you. That's all you. Sometimes that's all it takes is having those good shots, and that's exactly what we saw there.
And that's something we can come back to a lot in this game, because we've seen a lot of gunfights being taken. Not so much in this map, but in the first map, there was a lot of gunfighting, a lot of early gunfighting that we saw. So I think being able to win those gunfights, especially with Dear Pharaoh, who isn't even the MVP of the team, at least not that we had seen. I mean, that was once again just a phenomenal play. Very, very good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's the thing too. If you want the definition of good aim and good gunfighting, in my opinion, it is basically winning fights that you really shouldn't be winning. If you really just have that better aim, you are going to be winning rounds that you really shouldn't be winning, in my opinion. At least game sense wise. That's just how it works. And really, Girafero had that in him, and that was really all it took. You know, some good gunfighting. I mean, the pistol whip coming in to win that round. And now we see the melee hole from the roof. And Fire French almost prepping an aid to counter-respond, but is not going to. They know that Scarlet Hounds has some vert to watch above. And with a minute left, looks like MSU already is starting to get that first fire control with D4C on that OSA shield, or OSA window, the solar window, but is not going to be holding aggressive, or not putting down a shield quite yet, which would be a good opportunity for a line of sight. Lion already pushed up top solarium stairs as well. Gonna catch Andy Sandwalker from the holes he made from below, and Rudy's gonna swing, and a pre-fire gets caught by Matto catching Dear Pharaoh with the pre-fire, and now Lion Scan comes in. Agent Boring narrowly missing one by the door. Gonna pre-fire to take out Matto, but he'll get another D4C taking Mari popping off, and they're just walking straight in. Jalen's gonna have to take Lion, but he's gonna hold close to the door, and that is gonna be a flawless round for MSU.
And that was a 4K by Matto. I think that's very important to mention as well. We saw after he got the first 2 kills, you know, getting the first swing from the bathroom with a pre-fire. We saw a little bit of teabagging there, a little bit of, I guess, unsportsmanship, but definitely, I definitely didn't expect him to get those kills there, so I can't say it wasn't warranted. If that makes sense.
No, I mean, honestly, I think that makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, really, MSU just had that ability to flush them out entirely, and they were able to force those gunfights. Like, both teams must be really feeling themselves gunfight wise, because we are just seeing a fast slew of gunfights, and it's usually whoever initiates against that first pick just keeps steamrolling. That's what we're seeing with these rounds, is some steamroll situations. And yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna see a lot more back and forth going forward, just because of that steamroll mentality that both teams have and are carrying through with. I don't think that this is gonna stop anytime soon. However, we do have Mary popping off with a castle playing over in a dining room, so we might possibly see a change of pace to try to curb that, you know, that kind of non-stop steamroller momentum that we just witnessed from the last round. And the other one, too.
I think it was after they stopped playing basement, it was good for Scarlet to get those 2 rounds, but that last one, MSU just kind of went in and were able to take everyone out very handily, very quickly. So, I mean, is that a play that Scarlet's not used to handling, not equipped to handle? Like, we don't know, I guess. And I think the rest of the match is going to teach us that.
Possibly. It's very possible. And now it looks like MSU is going to be pushing from Solar side to get that library control so they can start to get vert. I mean, we have Sledge, we have Buck. That's going to be Fire French and D4C. Double getting popped open, but we have Jalen, who is holding top blue at the moment, going to cause a little bit of trouble, but the holes is going to pop open, put Frost a bit on the spot. Hopefully she's got some ADS to cover, because we got some nades as well, and Asian Boy over in Fireplace as well. We got a lot of heavy presses hold the ball, but we're going to see Matto take one from the roof angle. That is a classic angle. I love it with the Flores, and now it is down to a 5v4. We still have one over in Fireplace stairs, but he's going to fall back. And now it is just a matter of clearing out the blue stairs utility. Flashes come in, and now Jalen's going to have to fall back. But is actually going to commit, and Matto will actually take 1, take 2 on the hop in, and is now library entries. It goes to drop the hatch to possibly take more. Ooh, but it's gonna get shut down by Annie Sandwalker from Connector. Giro Pharaoh now going to be pushing Dining Hallway to possibly split up MSU even more, as there is one over in Dining at the moment. This could help Scarlet with their situation right now, but if Giro Pharaoh gets taken out, that means Annie Sandwalker is going to be the only one to save out this round, but is going to be spotted by the drone, and now Buck going for the vert to try to catch him out and clear out to get this plant. I don't know if they know that Annie Sandwalker is the only one on site, but that intel could prove disastrous for them. And Annie taking a headshot on the Whiffity, and that is going to be now down to a 3v2, but cannot stop Buck as he now goes for the drop. That's going to be D4C. Giro Pharaoh taking lean from the Dining Hallway angle, and with 27 seconds left, MSU is primed for a plant, but D4C is going to push this, flashing out Giro Pharaoh. It doesn't look like they actually had a diffuser, but Fry will take him out, and that is going to be another round for MSU.
I gotta say that round had everything. There was a lot of gadget play, a lot of gadget denial. There was there were some amazing plays, and there were some not so great plays. There was a lot of gunfights, which has honestly been a pretty common theme between these two teams. But I think that round is definitely something that really could have gone either way from the start, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, for sure. I'm sorry, I was a little bit distracted. Y'all are so mean to me. I see you in chat. I absolutely see you. I am not going to take this butchery, okay? I have standards. But speaking of standards, Fry French is going to put a T-Bird right in the middle of the door. All right. I don't think I've seen that one before. However, MSU is going to be going second floor on their swap. So, I really want to see if Scarlet Hounds can start taking some attack rounds here, because MSU has had some good momentum there. So, maybe Scarlet Hounds can have the same thing. It has been close in the first game, but I'm kind of worried if second game is going to be as close. I'm not really sure.
I mean, if we look at it here as well, we can see MSU has honestly been pretty dominant. Everyone positive apart from Whiffity, who's 3 and 4, so very close. Whereas Scarlet, it's almost the opposite. And obviously, KD isn't the only defining factor. Like we talked about, strategy is a huge part of it. But I feel like Scarlet is going to need to get a few more of those picks out if they really want a chance at winning this, especially with this being MSU map.
Oh yeah, with the way conditions are looking right now, Scarlet Hounds is going to be in a bit of trouble, but Friar French will take Giro Pharaoh already, bringing it down to a 5v2 with that aggressive hallway peek onto the window, and Scarlet Hounds has not even entered the building yet, but Ramato going for the run out is going to get taken out by the Claymore, and now the numbers are a bit even with a heavy hitter out. Mato off the board with Asian Boy still up, but he's not playing as hot as the first game. We don't always have the hottest of games. But that is going to be their heavy hitter with Giro Pharaoh, as he is playing very well, 8 and 6 at the moment. So, I mean, it's really anyone's round at the moment. But MSU is looking a bit more balanced, and they have a better situation as Scarlet Hounds loses another, and they are still outside.
Minute 30 into the round, you can't stay outside that long. You've got to start pushing in. There's no way they're going to be able to do a full roam clear now unless they absolutely get going, and even then, that would definitely be a stretch. I think they just got to start pushing and hope for the best if they don't want to feel rushed to the plane.
Yeah, I agree. And something I want to note as well, Annie is on his own with... Wait, did Forcey almost kill himself with his own nitro? I think he did. But anyway, Annie is all alone with Diffuser, and Mary Poppinoff and Jalen are still slowly making their way up. They are going to be rendezvousing with them over by Trophy Room, but things are still not looking good with 40 seconds left. They got to push to a funnel, but they're going to take one, but we will see the refrag and another one, bringing it down to a 2v2 as Scarlet Hounds is able to make their way up Solarium, but we are going to see Annie getting taken out. Mary Poppin trying to take one over to the bathroom and push his way up, but will get killed followed by Lean 4 over and onto head height holes. And that is going to be MSU taking another round to bring it up. I think actually to match point or 5?
It's 5. I believe it's 5. Yeah, 5-2.
Yep, 5-2. Thank you. I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
This, I mean, honestly, with the amount of, I guess, domination that MSU has had with, like I said, how their kills are working and just kind of how they're coordinating, I feel like I feel like they're definitely pulling through here. I definitely think that they will be able to close this out pretty handily. Of course, that remains to be seen. But I don't have I don't have many doubts unless Scarlet can really ramp up stuff, especially now that they're on attack on Chalet, which I mean, depending on sites, it could be really attack and defender site. It honestly could be pretty even, but I always like defense on Chalet more. I believe that the teams do as well. You know, this not being Scarlet's map, but they chose defense first. I feel like unless they have some really good attack strategies, I can't really see this going away from MSU.
Yeah, and the problem right now that I see is that, you know, it could be a little bit more even if Scarlet Hounds didn't play basement twice at the very start, giving MSU essentially a free round advantages. You know, it could have been at least 50-50 and maybe like, you know, 4-3, but no, we're looking almost close to match point, and Scarlet Hounds has not been able to pick up an attack round thus far. They're gonna have to figure something out because they barely even got a setup before MSU started to pop off and shut them down. Though granted, Scarlet Hounds was able to force their way up Solarium, which was very well done, playing off of each other, but it was little too late, unfortunately. And now, you know, Scarlet Hounds is gonna have to learn how to get that ability to force their way through earlier on if they want to be able to bring this to overtime. Because I'm gonna be honest, winning this out before OT is not looking very likely for Scarlet Hounds.
I mean, if they want to bring this to overtime, they can only lose one more round. And I mean, this round, you know, it's anyone's, still 5v5, minute in, but I'm pretty confident we'll see some early picks here soon. And from there, definitely determine what happens.
Hopefully, for Scarlet Hounds' sake, at least. And there it is. Jalen taking D for your Z, and that is going to be one Nitro down. Jalen looking for a second. He's going to catch it. Taking Lean 4, and that is going to be mezzanine cleared out. But there is still one more over by Blue Stairs, but the flashes are going to come in. Asia Boy is in. Almost gets caught by the deployable shield, but it's not. And the Wamai will catch the Gon 6, and that is going to be almost all of the utility to get rid of it. But Giaferro still has one more explosive mine to get rid of that shield, but they're running out of time. There's going to be another one up Blue Stairs. Asian Boy looking to force his way up. The smoke canister coming in to cut him off. Scarlet Hounds is struggling to get that open, but Asian Boy will catch Friar French, who's trying to get aggressive off of the shield. And now with a minute left, Scarlet Hounds effectively is starting to gain a second for control. Bimano is still there, tries to take one, but gets picked off, and Giaferro takes another from the hatch. And that is going to be... Was that a flawless round?
That was a flawless round. Yes, it
Wow.
was. I think this is exactly the momentum that Scarlet needed. This is the exact kind of plays that they need to keep bringing out. They need to keep pushing MSU into that corner if they want a chance of bringing this back. But with a round like that, I could definitely see it going either way. If they can keep playing like this, I have no doubt in my mind they could push it into overtime, potentially even winning this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, that if Scarlet Hounds is gonna can keep this up, they're gonna put MSU on the spot. But keep in mind, we do not have any timeouts used. So if MSU really wants to break down momentum when it really matters, just to play it safe, they could call a timeout towards the end if they are able to pull it into match point, or call it when it gets into overtime. Either way, Scarlet Hounds with that kind of momentum is probably making MSU very nervous at the moment. So if they're gonna win this, they need to curb that momentum either now or wait till OT and play it safe. But either way, Scarlet Hounds had an explosive round. That is the facts for sure. And the facts is Scarlet Hounds is not gonna let MSU even get to match point without one hell of a fight.
I definitely see that here. I feel like like I said, I feel like if Scarlet can pull that out a little bit more, they could very much push this into overtime. I don't think that was really an instance of MSU with bad setup. They seem to have decent setup. They seem to have good holds, good utility denial and everything. It's just Scarlet just came in and they really uh, couldn't cope, even with their setups being as good as they were. Scarlet just kind of came out of the gate.
They just played the better, honestly, and were able to
Yeah.
dismantle it and punish MSU for getting overly aggressive on the shield. I mean, you saw two people try to swing off the shield, Fry and one more. Or I'm sorry, we saw Fry and I forget who the other was. I think it was D4SE. No, D4SE was Mira, but someone else got tried to get aggressive out the shield as well, and it just did not work out. Both getting shut down without even getting the shield destroyed effectively, which was crazy. And now here it comes. Here comes Scarlet Hound starting to take that master bathroom control as they look to quickly push up and get the same control they did. But MSU is gonna pop one for I think that was a one tap from the swing out onto the shield, and that's gonna bring it down to a 5v4 as Fika is now off the board. And that's gonna be less healing potential to sustain themselves as they start to push up. But with that wall breach, they now have to worry about fireplace as well, and we might see even more aggression on the shield as well. But Five French will get refragged by Guerrero from the window, and now Mato is pushed all the way up from library. MSU is playing a lot more far back, but it's not going to work because Mato still gets caught and is now down from library, but not out. If he can drop the hatch in time, he may be rezzable here by one of his teammates over on site. Still playing aggressively on shield. Garifero taking a little bit of damage, but has that mezzanine control. Knows that it's one down, but it's not looking the right way. Takes heavy damage as mezzanine swings out, and that is going to be Lean 4 trying to secure this kill, but he gets down instead. Nomad over on the window going to catch him, and now it is effectively a 3v4, but every attacker is taking heavy damage, but it doesn't matter as Girafero takes another one, and it is now a 3v4, 2v4, 1v4, effectively, as everyone is down. It is up to Whiffity to make something happen here. But with 20 seconds, they are going to have to funnel, so there's some good opportunity here. Not connecting the shots there. You got to get aggressive as they're going to start to collapse on you over and connect with the concussions coming in. One hit drop and she's going to catch him, but the swing is coming in on to connect with 8 seconds left. They're going to have to push up, and they will. And Girafero takes that pick as well on connector.
There we go. That's another explosive round by Scarlet. You know, after seeing that first pick, I was like, huh, was it a one-round wonder? Is that all they got? But no. They're explosive coming out the gates, and honestly, their attack strategies are realistically much better than I expected them to be, because like I said, it seems the team really like to play defense on Chalet. It's very interesting to see how they took a 5v2 deficit, turning it into a 5v4. This is very much anyone's game now, just because of how well they've been playing it.
And the thing that's worrying me as well is Scarlet Hounds, their momentum, it's not slowing down. It's getting faster. They are getting more efficient. They're getting more deadly. Every single time another round comes in, their momentum is increasing. MSU, you have got to stop this. You are running out of time. It is now not a let's close this out. This is a we need to get into overtime before Scarlet Hounds gets this all the way up to a potential match point situation. They are slowly creeping up. Sorry, did I say slowly? I meant rapidly with the pace, the momentum, and the setup, and the utility clear that they have had up to this point. If I was MSU, I'd be sweating bullets. I don't care that we have a round advantage. Look at how they've swept these last few rounds. If I was them, you need to shut it down. Call a timeout. Maybe play some other site that you haven't played for to throw them off. Do something different, because First Floor has not been your breadwinner any longer.
Something I've even noticed with these higher level teams, a lot of times if you pull out strategies that they're not going to expect, Platinums, they're pretty expectable because you know what they're going to do. They have good gun skills, but you kind of know what they're going to do. Diamonds, pretty good. But if you pull out like these silver and bronze strategies, honestly, it potentially could win you, even when it doesn't seem like, you know, even when it doesn't seem like they're very good. Just because you kind of got to keep them guessing if you want any chance to win this, because that's what we're seeing here, because Scarlet's attacking, it's keeping them guessing. They're pushing from different points all the time. They're splitting it different ways, whereas MCU is just kind of going for the same holds, and I think that's ultimately what is costing them these rounds.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't have said it better myself. They're playing these same and similar setups, and Scarlet Hounds is just taking it and getting so active. However, Whiffity actually going to be taking Girafaro for their first pick, and is now going to be falling back to Peon Room to get those full heals. Going second floor could be doing them favors, as they are still neutral with 1 minute 13 seconds left, but at this point, that doesn't really mean much, because Scarlet Hounds has been under less time and still been able to push up, make something happen. Mary popping off, almost taking the head off of Scarlet or off of MSU, but it's not gonna happen. Asian Boy is just pushed up into office. However, she does not have the fuser. Nomad watching Asian Boy gonna take Whiffity out, and Andy goes for the plant. Asian Boy getting taken out by Motto, and Mary popping off will take lean 4, taking it to a 2v3, but the plant's already gone down. It is too late. Andy being successful, taking it out. Motto catching Andy as he tries to swing from the half wall. Motto going for the gunfight, trying to force it to get that retake, but DeFirose takes Jalen out, and now it is a 2v1 with DeFirose trying to get aggressive to finish off the retake. It's not going to work as Mary popping off starts to run back up with the pistol to whip out Bandit. He will get it, as now Score has won yet another round, and it is now even 5-5.
If I was MSU, I'd be talking to him. I'd be saying something's got to change. We've got
Timeout. Sorry, I wasn't meaning to cut you off, but that's add on. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, I just that's immediately, that's something that they gotta work on. They're like, they keep attacking us. They keep just doing this explosive thing. How are we gonna cope with this? What are we gonna do to fix this? What are we gonna do to punish them for doing this? Because they're getting aggro, and they can punish them for getting aggro. We've seen it. We saw it happen in the last match, but they just can't seem to cope, especially where they really should, especially on their own map.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's crazy how both of these teams are just kind of steamrolling on not their own maps. I mean, we saw Scarlet Hounds lose to MSU, and it got close, and now we're seeing the same thing, but the difference is Scarlet Hounds is absolutely obliterating on attacks, steamrolling. I believe so far they have won 3 attack rounds in a row now, and show very little, if not no signs of stopping. Though granted, I will say that MSU was very close to shutting that down and winning it out and getting to match point, but just barely able to take out Mary popping out with the pistol whip onto Bandit. So it is getting closer, but not close enough, as Scar's ability to keep winning rounds has not been faltered, and now we're on that 5-5 split.
I said it's going to be hard for MSU to, throw this. I don't think I see it going out of MSU's favor. And now I'm about ready to eat my shorts, because Scarlet just came out of the gates. They're like, you know what? Let's go in. Let's be explosive. Let's just do what we do best, and that's winning those gunfights, holding each other's backs and everything. And it's just been working out time and time again for them.
Mm-hmm. Sure has been working out for them. But they will be going kitchen dining again. Maybe they can make something happen here. But first floor, like I said, has just not been their, darling site or darling floor like it was earlier. And Asian Boy already making his way down bottom fireplace with nobody to contest him so far. And Natasha coming in to pop those walls open very soon, with Jalen already by the office single, possibly to try to take one, and is now looking to just walk straight in with the drones, and a nade coming in to drop below, but the floor is not completely broken, so it's not going to go through. However, there were a lot of people second floor to potentially catch Jalen out, so it's going to be a little bit scary. However, he is now playing by the double, playing closer to Girafaro, which will help for refragability. But with 1 minute 17 seconds left, Scarlet Hounds has a lot of work to do, but Matto will catch Mary popping off from the rotate out, from the run out of bathroom, and now it is a 5v4. The nade about to come in, could catch one from Piano as he is not adapting. However, he doesn't have to, as there's an ADS, and now Jaeger tries to swing off the deployable shield, but does not. Scarlet Hounds has just not gotten anything for a second floor control at the moment, but maybe that isn't necessary. However, Fry Off French has taken a good amount of damage, and Jalen does push up a Fly Off French, does catch him and take him out, and we will see Matto get shut down, and Asian Boy has pushed up, is now onto site. And he's not in a good position to plant just yet, but Giroferro will get taken out. We're going to see more damage come out. The smoke canisters come in, and MSU will take their first round in a while, being able to deny not only the second floor take, but also punish the entry into the site itself. And now MSU is finally at match point.
I think something that is definitely notable is that right there, with those nades they had those ADSs, but Flores is still on the board after Scarlet banned Ying, as opposed to a much more standard Flores ban. So we saw MSU playing Flores, Motto playing Flores quite a bit on attack because they had that utility at that point that those ADSs cannot counter. But we don't see a lot of it with Scarlet, and ultimately, if they had a Flores up there, I feel like that could have been a game changer for the second floor control.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential there to have gotten a lot of that utility destruction, but sometimes those drones aren't able to get in to spot that kind of thing. I mean, it's very hard to. There's not a lot of drones that you can get directly onto site, so oftentimes that's just gonna get, shot out before you really have a chance. But MSU now, thanks to winning that round, has a good opportunity to just win this game, and they are going to be going second floor to commit to that, to take that win. And we even have Fry France doing a good job catching out a lot of drones off of Scarlet Hounds. Ooh, we got a little bit of spinning there. Spin bot? That would explain a lot of the picks. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, with going second floor, they are really hoping to squeeze this out, and they don't really have an option. It has been so close, and they have just now gotten a match point where Scarlet Hounds could very much take it overtime. It's not much. You just got to win this one round, but will they?
Are we going to see a 7-5 to MSU once again, or are we going to see this pushed into overtime and have so much more stakes on the line? Because right now, MSU, they know if they win this round, it's over. Game's over. They won it 2-0, But Scarlet, I feel like a little more panicked. They're like, we got quite a few of these rounds, but it was our beginning rounds that didn't really help us, and now we've got to cope with our attack. So it'll be interesting to see if that panic really sets in and they start making bad plays, or if MSU gets a little bit arrogant and ends up pushing it into overtime.
And that is a fair point, because Scarlet Hounds really didn't seem, to have that kind of mob mentality that they did from last round in comparison to the other attack rounds that they won. So something's definitely kind of clicked in their heads like, holy shit, we really don't have a lot of options here. They just kind of panicked. So if mental is a problem now, it definitely is going to keep being, as Lean 4 will take Jalen, bringing it down to a 5v4, and he as well getting a double kill running up from Snowmobile Garage, and Asian Boy taking a bit of damage as well, with Whiffity and Motto both holding close by Breach over in Piano. But Asian Boy is going to be unable to catch anybody at the moment, holding for the single, anticipating someone getting aggressive over in office, but Whiffity is playing this really smart, just holding by the head office wall, looking for those peaks, and Giroferro is going to get caught by Motto, who is over now by Library, and Asian Boy is going to take some serious damage as well, and is going to get caught out from Fryer French, who is over by Blue Hallway, and now it is up to Mary Poppinoff to hopefully make something happen, and it's not going to work, as Motto secures the flawless round, and with that, MSU wins this BO3 out with 2-0.
I gotta say, with a lot of those plays, I really think that panic set in. I really think that they were just like, oh crap, we really gotta win this, and it kind of screwed them over at the end. MSU, they coped well with the attack, but I just don't think Scarlet had that same kind of oomph they had in them those last few rounds either.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just very interesting to see how we thought that could go either way. And, you know, one team's winning so many here, flips around again. You know, it was that was a roller coaster all over. But
Yeah. But I will say though, MSU did get a little bit lucky there because we saw that Scarlet Hound had when MSU went second floor for the first time, I think they on defense they got absolutely domed by Scarlet Hounds. So they kind of got lucky that they weren't able to do that again when they went back to second floor MSU in a desperate attempt to break that streak. And that's honestly what the straw that broke the camel's back for Scarlet Hounds. If they did not win that round, I really don't care what if they won the next round. The MSU was not going to be in a good situation. They would have best case scenario got overtime. Worst case scenario was going to just flat out lose that, and we were going to go into the third game. So honestly, there was a little bit of luck involved on Mato's end that Scarlet Hound was not able to keep that same consistent energy all the way through and could not do the same swarm that they did from Solar when they were there or when MSU went second floor. So, I mean, that stroke of luck really was all MSU needed. And as we saw, they got unfortunately, they got folded on the last round. I mean, a flawless round to end it out for MSU, taking that momentum break and just sinking it, absolutely sinking it in that this is their match and there is not a single chance that they're going to win even a map, really. And like I said, losing 2 rounds by going basement twice, I know I've kind of hit on this hard, but that is really not the play. After learning how they just open up all of the walls that fast, that should have been a clear indicator of no way on earth are we going this again. But it wasn't. They win it again, and that second round, in my opinion, made all the difference for really keeping MSU at that round differential advantage. Otherwise, Scarlet Hounds could have had a better chance. Even if they lost that round, they still would have at least been in overtime, but they weren't.
something that I found really interesting about those first 2 defense rounds, I didn't see any sound holes in the garage, and I feel like with what we saw, that especially that second round, the bandit tricking them, putting it on the wrong wall, like I feel like those sound holes really could have helped, and
Possibly. That's a fair point.
honestly, very much could have been a game changer. I know, like I said, I'm a low gold player, but anytime I'm planning on bandit tricking, we always put those sound holes there because
Right.
always something that we're going to that's always something that we're going to need. And
Mhm.
there have been times where I've been down to my last bandit wire, but I'm able to get the charges off the wall just because we have those sound holes.
Right.
So I feel like that definitely could have impacted. How much of the game it could have impacted, I don't know. Could honestly, it may not have done anything too. Like with of course I'm just speculating because we really don't know what could have happened. But I could definitely have seen that being a game changer, especially if they weren't able to get that snowmobile garage open because now there's less angles to watch, less and more people to watch, less angles, and they might have been able to uh, pull at least one of those defense rounds into their favor, brought the game to overtime instead of 7-5 win for MSU.
Yep. Honestly, pretty much summed it up for me there, if you ask me. All right. Well, there's one more thing I gotta address before I call it a night, and it is gonna be this. So, we hit the milestone, right? We've got, I believe it was 140 followers, right? You guys ready to figure out what kind of curtains these are? They are, drum roll please, not shower curtains. Stop saying that. Maybe at 200 followers, I'll give you a little bit more of an audience to that. But right now, no, they are not shower curtains. Stop saying that. Y'all are crazy. All right. Well, do you have anything else for me, Lucas? Or for us tonight?
So once again, I told you I thought that match was going to be thriller, very much was. And then I want to pay a little homage to the chat as well, just kind of roasting you basically through the entirety of the match. There was quite a bit said about you. Um, I mean, and that's our community there. You know, they're having fun. They're
Oh yeah.
messing around, that kind of thing. So, I don't mind it, but
Yeah.
uh, I just thought it's interesting to mention. As I'm looking at chat, there's either like at one point I looked over at the chat when MSU was like 5-2 up, and I just see 80% of it covered with like motto is the GOAT. So there was a lot of that going on. There's a lot of banter between fans of each team. It was nice to see, and that's what I really like about this community.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's gonna be the community for you. I mean, it does be like it. Now everyone's roasting for my comment on the luck. I said a little bit of luck, okay? They got a bit lucky that Scarlet Hounds could not keep that same attacking momentum for second floor like they did for first floor. And that's completely fair, in my opinion. I mean, because if we saw the same kind of force the way in like we did before, I really don't know if I can say for sure that we would have seen that round win, or the Scarlet Hounds would have gone into match point, if not overtime. I'm just saying that it's fortunate in a sense that it gave an opportunity to win that out for MSU. It's very fortunate for them. Not in the sense that they definitely would have won it out, but the way that timing worked out was definitely in their favor for sure. So, stop roasting me. I am not wrong on this. Matto, you played extremely well. GG's to you and everyone over at MSU. And Scarlet Hounds, good on you for getting that multi-round streak and putting up the good fight. But with that being said, that's going to be it for me. And that's going to be it for Lucas, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for watching me. Thank you, Lucas, for joining. And I was glad to be here. Thank you to the Observer and all the staff that made this production possible. And with that, we will see you at the Midwest R6 report on Sunday. Take care. Talk to you guys later.
I need a scarecrow after what you did, 'cause all of the birds know that I'm almost dead. I'm barely breathing, I'm barely awake. You left me in pieces, there's no more to break. Don't wake me up, not in this century. Don't wake me up, 'cause you're just a ghost inside my head. You're just a ghost, you're never there. You're just a memory on my lips, 'cause you're just a ghost inside my head. I need an angel after what you did, 'cause you were the devil, you messed with my head. You lied to my